Tornadoes Make a Difference, Saturday, April 13th at the Southeastern Guide Dogs Walkathon.
Good Day Orlando starts now with breaking news.
And the breaking news coming out of Seminole County, a house fire leaving one child dead. Want to take a live look at the scene. This is on Ballard Street in Altamont Springs. We do have an update on the investigation and recovery efforts this morning. And some strong storms moving into Central Florida. This is a Fox 35 storm alert day. We're timing out the potential for severe weather and its impact on where you live. And a dream cruise turning into a nightmare. A woman traveling abroad when she suffered a stroke. Her family had no idea.
Really hard to experience that she was helpless, that she was alone.
So you're going to hear their message to other families facing a similar situation. Thanks for joining us. An early good morning from us. I'm Ryan Elijah. It is 4 o'clock and we're keeping a close eye on the weather today. The biggest threats arrive a little bit later in the day. I was just talking to Brooks about that. We're talking heavy rain, some strong winds as well. And for an update on that, let's get more with Brooks. Brooks, one of those days we're definitely keeping an eye on things today.
Absolutely, Ryan. We've got a line of severe thunderstorms right now up in Georgia and the Carolinas. And as this works southward, it'll arrive across north central Florida, like around Gainesville, close to noon today, and then Orlando around about 3 to 5 p.m. That's our window for severe thunderstorms, where we could see winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour, producing some scattered power outages. There's also a chance for an isolated tornado, but by and large, most of the really bad weather stays north of us today, like right now in Georgia around Warner Robins, the base up there. There's a confirmed tornado happening right now. This entire region under the gun for tornadoes through this morning. As far as we're concerned, tornadoes not so much a threat, but we will see a band of thunderstorms, and they could be strong to severe as early as lunchtime in Gainesville, and then working southeastward toward Orlando with first off isolated storms around 2 o'clock and then scattered to more numerous storms toward commute time. So, you know, as you're heading out, picking up the kids from school this afternoon, there's a potential lightning delays release, or you may just get wet waiting for them with the wind blowing and the rain pouring down. Storms continuing on and off through about 5, 6 o'clock before tapering to a couple of showers, and then that's it. So it's going to be a narrow window today, but one that could prove quite impactful for some communities as far as the wind threat goes. 73 in Sanford, it's a mild morning. The winds are blowing out there about 15 to 25 miles per hour. It's going to be one of those very windy days today. Temperatures, we go from 70 in Castleberry toward daybreak up to 84 by 3 o'clock before the rain comes in. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the severe weather impacts expected for this afternoon, and of course looking ahead to the week ahead. Ryan, we've got some nice weather behind this system today.
Brooks, sounds good. We'll see you here in a little bit. We'll talk more about that. We do want to continue to follow the breaking news at a house fire in Seminole County that's left a child dead. So the Seminole County Fire Department saying that this was confirmed in the last hour. We're told several families are displaced. The fire broke out about 1:30 this morning in an apartment complex on Ballard Street. That's in Altamont Springs. We've got a crew on the way. As soon as we get more information, certainly we'll bring it to you with updates on air and online. A Fox 35 update, a high-speed chase that went halfway across the state of Florida ends with an arrest. Troopers arresting 48-year-old Walter Medina when his minivan slammed into a concrete median. This was on John Young Parkway. New video showing some of that chaos. Investigators say the chase originally started in Hillsborough County near Tampa. Medina is accused of holding a woman captive and assaulting her with a wooden baseball bat. She was eventually able to escape, and when deputies later tried to arrest Medina, he sped off at that point, now facing 9 charges, including second-degree attempted murder. And developing now, an argument between two neighbors in Point Santa ends with a deadly shooting. This is what the scene looked like when deputies first arrived on Birmingham Drive. Investigators tell us one resident shot their neighbor about 10:30 in the morning. After the two got into a disagreement, the victim later died at the hospital.
I think it is bad, especially that it's two neighbors that's next to each other. Yeah, it's crazy. Around here it's really quiet. It's mostly a lot of little kids, so it's not a lot of stuff be happening.
Well, deputies did bring a suspect in for questioning, but no charge has been filed at this point. Investigators say this was most likely an isolated incident. Well, happening today, the city of Eustis will officially start ticketing people if they're caught on camera speeding near schools. For the last few weeks, cameras near Eustis Elementary have been in a warning phase, and no one was ticketed. But starting this morning, any driver caught going more than 10 over the speed limit will be sent a $100 ticket. Those cameras will be in operation on school days, so keep that in mind from 7:30 a.m. until 3:30 in the afternoon. afternoon, so most of the day. What's the battle over land in Orange County? The Orlando City Council said yes to expanding eastward, but some Orange County leaders want the city to wait. Orlando annexed more than 6,000 acres near Innovation Way and Sunbridge Parkways. Most of the land will be developed by Tavistock, the same group behind Lake Nona in Orlando. Well, plans at Sunbridge call for more than 7,000 housing units and 5.5 square feet of office space as well. Nearly 500 rooms. The big concern for the county is all the development is happening several miles from the near Orlando police and fire stations.
This project could have been a great opportunity to work together to ensure the best for existing and future residents of both Orange County and the city of Orlando.
That's 5.5 million square feet, by the way, a little bigger than 5.5 feet. Well, the city expects to pay for a temporary fire station this fiscal year. A permanent one is in the works just 4 miles away, while Sunbridge plans to make room for a fire station on site. In Brevard County, a pricey parking lesson on the beach. A woman was forced to fork over nearly $600 after her car was booted. Now she has a warning for others. If your car gets booted for parking illegally, first you have to pay $80 to get it removed. Then you have 24 hours to return the boot to one of 2 drop boxes. If you're late, you'll have to pay another $500. Kathy Parsons found that out the hard way.
I mean, it was awful. I was like, I cannot believe this. $500 has gone out of my account. You're giving them your credit card to get unbooted, and they have it, and then they'll charge you.
So they've already got the card. 2 green drop boxes, by the way, are located at Pelican Park and Hightower Beach East. If you get booted, it is your responsibility to return that boot. Well, probably breaking news now. A fire kills a child in Altamont Springs. We're getting an update from officials right now. We do want to listen in to some of that. And so we've been listening live. Did get a few details there. They haven't given a specific age of that victim, but did say preteen. So kind of in that 7 to 12 range, most likely. We'll find that more out later this morning. Again, the initial call was a couple injuries there, and it looks like there is the 1 fatality for sure. That was a child. The smoke detector apparently did not go off before. We'll get more information. As you can see, we do have a crew on the scene. That is in Altamont Springs. All right, next on Good Day Orlando, a mother battles a 1 in a million heart condition. Now she needs your help. What technology is helping her recover? And winds literally knocking people off their feet in Kentucky. We're going to look at the damage and what this storm system means for our forecast later today.
Hi there, did you just buy this TV?
Yeah.
How much did you spend on that TV?
It was $4.98.
Can we buy your TV for you?
Sure.
We'd like you to take this TV and download the Fox Local app on it, and we're going to pay for your television.
I know.
Under the search menu, we're finding something called Fox Local.
Thank you, Fox 35 and Fox Local for my new TV.
And you could be next.
Watch Amy Kaufelt on Good Day Orlando, weekday mornings 4 to 10 a.m.
Will my soccer game be canceled?
Thunderstorms around Florida tonight, but in the Orlando area, soccer games should be a go.
Noah knows. Weeknights on Fox 35.
All right, so right now a storm system is wreaking havoc across parts of the U.S. So on the left, you can see a neighborhood that's underwater. This is just north of Pittsburgh. Parts of Wisconsin also expecting up to 30 inches of snow. Yeah, they're still getting snow. It's April, and some new videos showing heavy winds slamming the University of Kentucky as well. The winds got so strong, a college student was blown off his feet. Students rushed to buildings for a safety. This was during a tornado warning. The school eventually did cancel classes for the day. Well, that storm system is now heading our way. Hopefully it's not going to look anything like that. And Brooks is going to talk about that. Just looking at that
video is ridiculous.
That'll get you kind of concerned.
Yeah, it looks like one of those like 1930s, almost like, remember the sort of the comedy films where they like get blown across the frame?
Yeah, and they keep going that way.
Yeah, they just blow. So we're going to have windy storms this afternoon, some gusty storms. I mean, it's impossible to say, you're going to have winds like that or scenes like that, but it's possible.
But
we see gusts over 60. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the latest. Today's a Fox 35 storm alert day. Damaging wind gusts in severe storms. Our highest likelihood for storms in Orlando between 2 and 5 p.m., although the storms will onset earlier across north central Florida, Gainesville by 11 o'clock to noon today, so around lunchtime. Our severe weather threat continuing from Brevard County southwest through the Tampa Bay region, a lower threat once you get farther south. But here's the scoop. Everywhere in yellow, severe storms are likely. Not to say everybody's going to get one, but this is a pretty potent system and it's got a lot of wind energy associated with it. This morning to the north, we've got tornadoes. In the red, a tornado watch, meaning tornadoes are possible. In the purple over here, unfortunately, unfortunately, over Warner Robins Air Force Base, there's a confirmed tornado in this purple box. That means that it's either radar indicated or spotted by an observer. Likely this case, radar indicated. This is all heading toward the east into the Carolinas. I'm not expecting a major tornado situation this afternoon here based on our local atmosphere and the upper level dynamics. This would likely be straight line wind gusts. However, there's an outside chance for a tornado within a few miles of the Atlantic beaches, thanks to the potential of a little bit of a sea breeze. This is tough to even make the call, but a little bit of a sea breeze may be pinned to the coast. So when you have the southwest wind bumping up against a little bit of a sea breeze, there could be some spin happening. That said, can't rule out one or two isolated tornadoes region-wide. That said, straight line winds, that would be the major threat mode for these severe storms. So by 1 o'clock, we're going to see isolated to scattered storms across north central Florida, becoming more scattered to numerous as we head toward 2 o'clock. These isolated cells out ahead of the main line could be the severe storms. Straight line wind gusts, possibility of some hail, and also frequent cloud to ground lightning. By 4 o'clock, the line works toward Orlando. So think about this. You're picking up the kids around 3 from school. It's possible there could be some release delays. You know how they keep the kids in when it's thundering outside, and also some big wind gusts. And as we head toward the commute, it looks like roads will be wet in Orlando at the very least, but we may be dealing with some pretty big downpours across parts of the region. After that, the system moves out and it sets the stage for a beautiful next couple of days. Well, 70 is the current temperature in Bushel, 73 in Orlando. The winds are really gusty out there. South winds right now between 18 and 25. There is a wind advisory in effect for our entire region today between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. for the possibility of wind gusts over 40 miles per hour outside of the thunderstorms. And our forecast highs today, with the front moving in, it'll be cooler to the northwest, 77 in Gainesville, and warmer to the southeast, 88 degrees today in the Melbourne area. Orlando somewhere in the middle, about 83 degrees. Not bad, but stormy. 73 currently at Orlando Sanford Airport. It's quiet. If you have theme park plans today, or maybe you're working in the theme parks, cast member, etc., we're looking at about 81 by noon, and by 4, a good chance for some rain, thunder, lightning, and the potential of severe storms, 82 degrees. Storms at the theme parks between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Again, today, a Fox 35 storm alert day. That means you should be weather aware. All right, let's see the 7-day forecast. So, windy today, 80% chance for rain setting up, 83 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, 75. 73 degrees on Friday, and then back up into the 80s for early next week. So that will be nice. Okay, let's take a look at Skyfox traffic. Traffic is clear this morning across the region. No issues to report at this time. No incidents to report either. We've had some planned construction on stretches of I-4, but so far, so good. No backups reported and no incidents to report at this time. All right, that said, Ryan, let me toss it back to you. I'm going to get back to the maps and get the latest on the severe weather threat for this afternoon.
All right, Brooks, sounds good. Thanks for inviting me over to the Weather Center. Brooks will be a busy man today, and we'll keep in touch with him all throughout the morning. Right now, an Orlando mother living with a 1 in a million condition is in need of a heart transplant. So she developed the condition after she gave birth to her 5th child. This was in September. Shauna Shepard knew something was wrong when she began experiencing severe pain in her back. Well, she went to the hospital where doctors told her she had an enlarged heart. While Shepard waits for her transplant, she is required to wear a life vest at all times. The vest is designed to restart her heart should it stop.
If I'm out and about or at a theme park or anything, they can actually track me and find me if my heart stops and I'm not with my kids or anyone. I get anxiety. I don't want to be around people. It's hard for me sometimes to get dressed, to get out of bed, to cook, to clean. I even have a 5-year-old.
Well, the vest is only a temporary fix while she waits for a new heart. If you'd like to donate to the organization rallying behind Shauna, you can help Hope Live. That is, just go to our website at fox35orlando.com. You can find all the information there. Let's get to a Fox 35 exclusive. New details now about why this canine tried to jump off the 528 bridge that was 75 feet above the Indian River Lagoon. Fox 35's Esther Bauer spoke to the deputy handling that leash. She explained what happened moments before this video. Esther, thanks. My goodness, I don't think I've seen anything like that. It's a good thing it had a strong harness there. That dog, who knows how injuries would have suffered after that fall. Next up on Good Day Orlando, the president and the president of China agree to pick up the phone and talk. We'll look at the biggest takeaways from their recent conversation. Coming up, it's 4:23 this morning.
Shining the light on unsolved crimes.
This person needs to be behind bars.
Inside Central Florida's True Crime Files, streaming now on Fox Local.
Here's a look at what's coming up in sports on Fox 35, sponsored by Kia. Fox 35 brings you the best in sports, whether it's the MLB, the NFL, soccer, WWE, or NASCAR. Fox 35 delivers all year long. From opening day to the championships, we have you covered. The biggest sports are on Fox 35. Brought to you by the 2024 Kia Sportage. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires.
All right, next on Good Day Orlando, we're continuing to cover the breaking news out of Altamont Springs. Unfortunate situation of a deadly house fire that's claimed the life of a child this morning. And gangs continue to target people in Haiti. We've got an update on the violence and efforts to rescue Americans still trapped overseas.
Getting a new phone? Download the Fox 35 News app. Free to download, free to use. Wake up with Brooks Garner. Weekday mornings on Good Day Orlando. Good Day Orlando starts now with breaking news.
And the breaking news coming out of Seminole County, a house fire leaving one child dead. This is a live look at the scene on Ballard Street in Altamont Springs. We've got an update on the investigation and recovery efforts this morning. And a Fox 35 Storm Alert Day, we could see wind gusts of up to 40 miles an hour. Brooks is going to talk about the updated forecast and when we can expect this a little bit later. And just a wild chase across county lines. How deputies arrest a suspect wanted for kidnapping and attempted murder. Just some of the stories we're following. Welcome back on this Wednesday morning. Great to be with you. I'm Ronnie Elijah. Today we're looking at storms, severe potentially in Central Florida. It is a storm alert day. Let's bring in Brooks right now and see exactly what we need to keep in mind today.
Yeah, Ryan, we've got a possibility between 3 and 5 p.m. in Orlando and as soon as lunchtime in Gainesville of gusty thunderstorms producing winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Straight line winds. Not so much of a tornado threat, but certainly one that could result in a couple of power outages. We've got a line of storms that will be moving in for the northwest, and so that's why our entire area in yellow is under the likelihood for a few severe storms this afternoon. As you go farther south, the chance dissipates. So for Brevard County from roughly Cocoa Beach south, it's a possibility, but it's not as much of a likelihood. Now this morning, the weather is very bad. Looking at Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar up here in Georgia, where we've got a line of severe storms producing damaging wind gusts. Even earlier, a few confirmed tornadoes near Warner Robins Air Force Base across southeast Georgia. That activity working to the Carolinas, but ultimately this line will be pushing into our region around lunchtime. So Gainesville and Levy County, as well as Dixie County, the first to catch the rain late this morning. We'll see isolated storms approaching lunchtime, becoming more scattered to numerous by 3 o'clock in Orlando. So if you have theme park plans or you're picking up the kids after school, heads up, there could be some delayed releases if there's lightning in the area. And at the very least, it looks like we're going to catch some wind-driven rain. And for the commute time, looks like roads will be wet, and we may be contending across the region, especially in Brevard County and Osceola County, with some active downpours. The activity starts to dissipate as we head towards sunset, and it's going to set the stage for a beautiful rest of the week. It's going to be a windy one today. Storms or not, it's going to be windy. 73 right now in Orlando. Winds out of the south about 20 miles an hour currently, and we could see gusts this afternoon in excess of 40 miles an hour. Again, outside of storms, just wind blowing around with this front approaching. Inside the storms, easily gusting past 60. All right, so in Oviedo today, we go from 70 degrees at 8 up to 84 degrees between 2 and 3 o'clock before the rain rolls in. Coming up, the latest on the severe weather threat, and of course, we're looking ahead to the weekend. Ryan, I've updated the 7-day forecast, so a little bit of a treat in store.
All right, Brooks, sounds good. Yeah, we're going to go through a lot in the next 7 days, sounds like. You can depend on Fox 35 to keep you informed anytime severe weather hits. If you've not downloaded the Fox 35 Storm Team Weather app, just a reminder, you get that live hour-by-hour forecast and let you know real time when lightning strikes. We do continue to follow breaking news this morning. The house fire in Seminole County has left one child dead. The Seminole County Fire Department did confirm to us within the last hour. We're told several families are displaced. They have not said the age of the child, but preteen is how they describe that child. It broke out about 1:30 this morning on Ballard Street. That's in Altamont Springs. We do have a live report coming up in our next half hour. We heard that live press conference earlier this hour. Well, new details this morning on a high-speed chase that went halfway across the state of Florida. It started in the Tampa area in Hillsborough County. It ended in Orange County. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie looking into the suspect's past and how this chase started. And according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Medina has a history of kidnapping and aggravated assault. As for the victim, we're told she was taken to the hospital for treatment. Happening right now in Orange County, investigators working to learn what started a deadly fight at Barber Park. Deputies say the victim was targeted. The name has not been released and no details right now on the suspect. We're getting an update now about spring break from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Between March 14th and the 24th, deputies made 204 misdemeanor arrests. They also reported 6 felony arrests. In total, the Sheriff's Office is arresting 26 juveniles, and they wrote 216 citations. Well, come November, you'll decide if recreational marijuana should be legal in the state of Florida. If it passes, people will not be able to start smoking immediately, though. Fox 35's Marie Edinger shares what you need to change before you would be able to buy it without a doctor's note. All right, 20 minutes before 5 o'clock. Next up, serious trouble in the sky. What caused an Alaskan Airlines flight to start leaking water mid-air? Plus, do you know where your tax dollars go to pay health care costs for people living illegally in Florida? Fox 30 investigates exactly how that happens, coming up ahead.
Today is a Fox 35 Storm Alert Day. I'm expecting this line of storms to bring high winds, frequent lightning, even an isolated tornado to the region just as the kids are getting out of school or you're heading home from work. For continuing updates, depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team.
I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Join us tonight on Fox 35 News.
What's the issue? The issue is that they don't show up the flight. Why?
Well, a passenger there wanting to know why he was kicked off a JetBlue flight from Los Angeles to Florida. He says he has no idea why. Tremaine Graves was sitting in the exit row of the flight from LAX to Fort Lauderdale. He said he took his seat, put in headphones, and started to sleep. When asked if he could help in case of an emergency, they said that he was confirmed, but the flight attendant came back to his seat.
She woke me back up, told me I'm going to need a verbal yes from you that you're willing to assist in the event of an emergency. I'm like, yes.
You were sitting on the emergency row.
I was sitting on the emergency row. I'm like, yes. Everybody said yes. You know what I'm saying? I put my earplug back in and I went back to sleep. I was woke back up by a supervisor telling me I need to come get off the plane.
So other passengers apparently confirmed his story. He left the flight voluntarily, feeling he would be placed on a no-fly list if he didn't comply. He was placed on another flight to a different city in Florida and drove to Fort Lauderdale from there. Just a crazy story. Fox did reach out to JetBlue for comment, but have not heard back.
That's an audition. Well, today is a Fox 35 Storm Alert Day. We've got a potential here for severe storms this afternoon in Orlando between roughly 2 p.m. and as late as 5 or 6 p.m. Damaging wind gusts, the biggest threat, winds over 60 miles per hour, a possibility. Our severe weather threat extends from the Carolinas and Georgia into North Florida all the way south through our region. And the onset will be earlier for Gainesville and for Alachua County, also for Levy, Dixie, and Gilchrist counties closer to lunchtime. The onset delayed till the afternoon, right around peak heating when we warm up to the mid-80s for Orlando. That'll add a little bit of fuel to the fire as far as the storm punch goes. And right now, these storms have a lot of punch in Georgia and the Carolinas. There's a tornado threat here, which will likely remain north of us. We're more looking at a straight line wind gust threat, but earlier tornado warnings confirmed near Warner Robins Air Force Base in Georgia. Now severe thunderstorm warnings across the Midlands of South Carolina, the central Savannah River area, the CSRA, and farther south into Peanut Country in southwest Georgia. For our region, it is a storm alert day because we've got a line of storms that'll be developing through mid-morning across the Nature Coast and the I-10 corridor and eventually into Gainesville by lunchtime. Isolated storms may develop out ahead of the main line as soon as 1 o'clock, but most likely the heaviest of the rain holding off until 2 o'clock or later. It'll be these cells, these individual cells, that could pack those straight line wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. But outside of storms, with the approach of this front, we're going to have a windy day. We're going to have winds over 40 miles an hour gusting. It's going to be windy and wild today outside of the storms. Now, there's an outside chance for an isolated tornado in these cells, but most of the action looks like it would be right along the Atlantic beaches area. So, if you're there, obviously, special heads up. We'll keep you apprised all day long here, fully staffed here in the Storm Center, of course. The storm threat will max out over Orlando between about 3 and 4 o'clock. So heads up, when you're picking up the kids today, there could be lightning that results in delayed releases at some of the schools. At the very least, be weather aware if you're going to pick up your kid. You know how that goes. As far as the evening commute goes, it's going to be wet. We're looking at least wet roadways. We may be contending with actual ongoing downpours. So in summary, our storm risks today: Winds of 60 miles per hour. There's a moderate to high threat for that in any storms. By far, that's our largest severe weather threat. Hail, there's a low to moderate chance. See maybe some penny size or nickel size hail, and a low chance, but not a complete zero chance for a tornado. So there you go. It's going to be stormy today, but it's going to lead to a beautiful forecast as we head toward the rest of the week. 69 now in New Smyrna Beach, 73 Orlando, 72 in Claremont. The winds are already gusting close to 30 miles an hour in Alachua County and over 25 miles per hour in the Orlando area and down toward Claremont and also in Osceola County. Between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m., there's a wind advisory in effect. So outside of thunderstorms, we're going to see gusts that could approach 40 miles an hour. So the trees are going to be blowing around today. Let's talk high temperatures. 77 in Gainesville today, so cooler there. Warmer in Melbourne at 88. Remember, this area in Brevard County will see the rain last, so it'll allow for maximum daytime heating. Orlando about 85 today. So it's going to be a warm and humid day today. 73 at Orlando Sanford International Airport. It is still dark out there. Skies partly cloudy. At the theme parks, I know there's a lot of folks here on vacation, of course. We're in the House of Mouse. Maybe you're heading over to Universal or SeaWorld. Storms likely at the attractions between 2 and 6 p.m. So you'll be good for the morning. Just have plans inside for the afternoon. Here's my 7-day forecast. I'm forecasting a high today of 85 degrees with an 80% chance for rain this afternoon. As far as Thursday, Friday, Saturday go, the sun is out and it is going to be really top 10 weather. This may be one of the last true breaths of springtime. And what I mean is low humidity and absolutely delightful Chamber of Commerce type weather. As we head toward early next week, we're back to the mid 80s. All right, let's take a look at Skyfox traffic. So far, we are incident-free across the region. We're in the green, no accidents to report, and the traffic overall is pretty light. One of the hot spots we're always watching is I-4 from Champions Gate to downtown. Normal drive time 23 minutes. Today, it's at 24 minutes. So that's good news. Other drive times, 417 from State Road 408 to Red Bug Lake Road, 8 minutes, right on par. And from Winter Garden to the airport, about 24 minutes, which is just a little bit longer than normal, but really not bad. All right, Ryan, we'll have updates, full storm team coverage all day long with our severe weather threat.
All right, Brooks, sounds good. Yeah, it's only an hour into the day, and Brooks has put a full day in already. It's been a busy morning for sure. Well, Fox 35 investigates your tax dollars paying health care for people who are here in Florida illegally. Orange County pays the third most in the state at $58 million over the last 6 months of 2023. Miami-Dade is first at more than $231 million. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth digging into these numbers. Randy, thanks. Interesting debate for sure. We'll continue to follow that. Next up on Good Day Lander, there are new regulations that railways have to follow to stop deadly derailments. Why some say it's not going to help coming up. And it's been more than 1 week since the deadly Baltimore Bridge collapse. Where the cleanup and the recovery effort stands at this hour. It's going to be a long process. We've got 8 minutes before 5 o'clock.
Good Day Orlando is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
What is a busy morning here on Good Day Orlando. This is a Fox 35 storm alert day. We're staying on top of also breaking news in Seminole County, where unfortunately one child is dead after a house fire in Altamont Springs, in an apartment there where the investigation stands right now.